Hello, Waffle Crew. I hope you're all doing fantastic. I'm Mark, and today we're diving into another batch of Reddit tales. If you enjoy these Reddit stories, consider giving a thumbs up, subscribing, and maybe ringing that notification bell too. Let's jump into the first story of the day. Much love, everyone. Our first tale comes from user BernatBree92, titled, Am I Overreacting by Pursuing Charges That Could Destroy Someone's Life? Here's the scoop. There's this woman, 43, who I met through a group of casual acquaintances. We hung out a few times, but honestly, I wasn't a fan. She came across as self-centered, lacked basic judgment, like constantly falling for scams and not knowing how to look up a phone number, and eventually showed some pretty offensive opinions. I decided to cut contact completely last autumn. I've ignored her since, but last night, the friends I met her through showed up at my place, and surprise, they brought her along without warning me. We were just pre-gaming before heading out, so I thought it'd be fine. But at some point, I spotted her exiting my master bedroom. When I asked what she was up to, she claimed she was using the bathroom. That seemed odd since there's a closer, empty bathroom near the front of the apartment. I figured she might have been tipsy. Notably, she was carrying a backpack. We went out, and later that night, I returned home. My fiancé's away, so I was alone. As I was getting ready for bed, I noticed something alarming. My medications, some pricey jewelry, and cash were missing from the bedroom sideboard. About $10,000 worth of items, including sentimental gifts. I instantly suspected her and called her up. She acted clueless, but I bluffed, saying I had a security system installed after a past burglary. I claimed I had footage of her stealing from the bedroom. She crumbled and started making excuses. I'd recorded the call. Thankfully, I'm in a one-party consent state, and after demanding everything back, I contacted the police. I spent most of this morning talking to them. Essentially, I can press charges, and she could face grand larceny, among other counts, especially since she took controlled meds like Valium. However, this would likely go on her record, cost her fines, and cause her to lose her job. With a record like that, she'd struggle to find new employment. Right now, I'm livid and want her to face consequences, but if she returns everything, every cent and pill, I wonder if pursuing charges would be me ruining her life just because I dislike her. So, am I overreacting by wanting to press charges? We've seen cases like this before, and the consensus is usually to file charges. Consider this. She stole $10,000 worth of your stuff, including controlled substances. There's a deliberate process here. She went into your room, rummaged around, and took things. She could have stopped at any point but didn't. She stole from you, and I wonder how many others she's done this to. Her consequences are her own doing. You're not ruining her life. She's done that herself. If she gets away with it, especially if this is her first time, which I doubt, who's next? Successful Pirate says, file charges OP. She walked into your home with a bag and a plan. Also, why didn't anyone find it odd that she brought a backpack for a night out? That's suspicious, and it might not have been just her. Check your friend group. I'd question that immediately. If you don't hold her accountable, she'll do it again, possibly to the same friends who could have been warned. I hope you recover everything. Best of luck sending positive vibes. OP responds, thanks for the reply and vibes. I'm hoping to get my stuff back soon, but I suspect she's already taken the meds or spent some cash. This all went down in the last 24 hours. So I doubt she's pawned anything, especially since I confronted her last night. The backpack was odd for a night out, but she's a teacher and often carries one. I've seen her at clubs before, always with a big bag and dressed overly professional. Call Me chimes in, press charges. She knew it was wrong and lied about it. She's 43, not a kid sneaking cookies. Stealing your meds shows no care for your health. OP replies, thanks for the response. I'm upset about the meds. She didn't just take the fun ones, which I don't use recreationally. I have muscle spasms, and the painkiller was from surgery. She also took meds like Zofran, which I need for a chronic illness. Missy Gray adds, she knew what she was doing. If it's her first arrest, the penalty might be light, but it'll make her think twice. She's not a kid acting impulsively. She lied when caught. Don't go easy on her. That's how people keep behaving badly. Michelle says, I bet this isn't her first time. Press charges. She needs consequences. If it's her first offense, they might reduce charges and mandate therapy, which could help. If not, she hasn't learned and needs a tougher lesson. Returning items will look good for her at sentencing, but she must face accountability. OP provides an update. She texted me recently admitting she doesn't have all the meds and used some of the cash last night. After I left the club, she stayed, then took a cab to her place in another borough. She said her mom could Venmo me, but it's a mess and she's not apologetic, just panicking because she knows I went to the police. She'd lose her elementary school teaching job, and in our state, background checks are strict, so charges would show up. In another update, OP says, I want to thank everyone individually. This has been consuming me, and your advice means a lot. She's supposed to come by around 7 p.m. unless she bails, but she's been messaging me nonstop, begging me not to involve the police. The issue is, she admitted to taking my meds, and as one Redditor noted, I need a police report to replace controlled prescriptions. The drug theft is worse since she took all my meds, including ones that aren't recreational but are vital for my chronic illness. My fiancé thinks she might have done it as revenge since I cut her off, but I'm unsure. My fiancé and sister will be here when she arrives, but this has been stressful, affecting my work and making me doubt myself. Thanks again for the advice. I'll respond directly. I also agree I need to investigate what she planned with the drugs, given she's around kids. Her views, which made me cut her off, already worried me about her teaching in NYC elementary schools. Update 3. Long story short, I'm pressing charges. She came to my place with my fiancé and sister present to return what was left of the meds and cash. I didn't let her pass the lobby and informed my doorman, who was amazing and kept watch. I'm following the advice here and moving forward with charges since I filed a police report. As others noted, I needed to report it to replace prescriptions, and I shouldn't trust any returned meds. She might have tampered with them. I'm proceeding because, despite a paid background check showing no criminal history, she might have done this before or could again. She stole drugs and works with kids. If something happens, it's on me for not acting. Her past behavior makes me suspect deeper issues. I sympathize with addiction struggles, but that's not more important than the kids she teaches or my chronic illness. I got 3-day emergency refills of non-controlled meds from CVS today, but I need to see 2 doctors with a police report on Monday, which means missing work at a new job. It's overwhelming. The interaction with her was awful. She wasn't remorseful. Initially, she blamed being drunk, but now she's calling it a prank. She cried, which made me feel bad, but I'm sticking with the police. Thanks to everyone who read this saga, it's been exhausting, and your advice was a wake-up call to press charges and distrust the returned meds. Thank you. Our next tale is from the True Off My Chest subreddit. My wife sobbed after being unkind to me, and I can't stop thinking about it. Here's the deal. I've never posted here, and I'm nervous because this makes me sound like a jerk. My wife and I have been together for 4 years, married after 6 months of dating, and it's been mostly great, except for one issue. She loves joking around, but her humor often lands wrong. I'm not usually sensitive, but it happens maybe weekly. Context done? Here's what happened. Last night, we both had rough work days. We didn't discuss it because we got home to chaos. Our dogs trashed the place. Stressed, all I wanted was to watch a movie she chose and crash. But then she made a few jabs about my looks, targeting a feature I'm insecure about. I was already drained and upset, so I looked at her and said, "Ouch." She laughed, but I pressed her on why she'd say that, especially knowing it's a sore spot. She asked what I meant, and I asked what reaction she expected by mocking something I feel bad about. I almost said, "How would you feel if someone did that to you?" But stopped myself. It'd sound patronizing. Before I could say more, she started crying, big, shaking sobs, saying she might have a panic attack because I was so serious. I'm not an angry guy, I've never been violent, and I didn't move from my seat. She had no reason to fear me, and I could only think of one reason for her reaction. This is where I sound like a jerk, hence the anonymity. I think she realized I was calling out her pointless mocking and wanted to shift the mood fast, so she made it about her having a crisis. This isn't the first time, it's a pattern. Step 1, she upsets someone. Step 2, she's about to have a panic attack unless you comfort her immediately. Step 3, I bury my feelings no matter the issue, including her mocking me. If I don't, she might have a real medical emergency, and we'd end up in the hospital. If it's not me she upset, others might get roped in for support, but I always am. Do I truly believe this? I want to say no, but a small part of me does. I'm not a jerk 99.999% of the time, but that tiny part keeps nagging, and I'm torn between wanting to disappear or seeking couples counseling because one of us has an issue. If she's doing this, what does that mean? If she's not, I'm the problem, and I feel like I'm turning into some paranoid beast, normal until a trigger makes me accuse her of faking her mental health issues. Like a total monster. Look, I don't think you were wrong to consider the empathy angle, asking how she'd feel if someone targeted her insecurities. I was thinking the same thing. It felt manipulative after she messed up. Why would she think it's okay to target something you're insecure about? Why would you attack the person you're supposed to love most like that? It's cruel. BC says, next time she starts hyperventilating, let her. Let her pass out. She'll breathe normally then. Cover her with a blanket and go to bed. Isn't it great when your spouse uses their mental health as a weapon? Live Music adds, OP, your wife needs to own her words and actions, mental health or not. There's no excuse for not apologizing and working on her behavior, especially since she hit a known sore spot. NASA says, Look up Darvo. Deny, attack, reverse victim, and offender. It's a pattern that pops up everywhere once you notice it. Suddenly, you, the victim, are the bad guy, and the attacker blames you. You're not crazy, OP. Understanding this might help you feel saner and guide your response. Research it. Analyze replies. 100% agree this should be higher up. Darvo is spot on. We haven't seen Darvo mentioned in ages, but it fits. 8 months later, OP updates. I didn't plan to update because after I shared my thoughts, it was a bigger meltdown, sobbing, asking if I thought she was evil, making me feel like a monster for doubting her. We went back to normal, but it wasn't just me. She did this with everyone and everything that upset her. No therapy or meds helped. It drained me. I was losing sleep, nearly lost my job because I couldn't focus, worrying Sharamers about her having a panic attack at work or needing me there. I was genuinely considering her quitting her job until we found something to manage her constant stress and anxiety. All this made me feel pathetic when I learned she was cheating. A co-worker of hers contacted me, unaware she was married. I knew confronting her in person would lead to a reaction that'd make me doubt the truth, despite texts and photos he showed me. I moved out, took my dog. She never cared for him anyway, hasn't asked about him once. I texted her that I knew and was getting a lawyer, suggesting she do the same. Lots of tearful voicemails denying it, then trickle-truthing via text, while I crashed on a friend's couch. We're still sorting it out. Few marital assets, and the lease is hers. Surprisingly, I felt little heartbreak, just odd relief. I thought cheating would be the worst betrayal, but if it wasn't a jerk move, I'd thank her. Thanks for the advice. It helped me not feel insane, even if I was too spineless to act then. Inky says, I'm sorry you endured that. Your wife's a manipulative person who uses anxiety to control, hiding cheating and shady behavior. Your muted reaction is valid. You were belittled by someone meant to be your safe haven. Wishing you peace and joy. Truthful Boy adds, that was abusive. She's unhinged, needing to play the victim. Congrats on leaving and taking your dog. Get therapy. Her psychological damage must be heavy. You're empathetic, like me, trying to fix bad behavior. Mental health is a solo journey, and love doesn't fix it. It's why we stay in toxic relationships. When ready, find someone stable who can be a true partner. Changing someone is futile. Absolutely, I'm glad OP escaped that manipulative mess. What do you all think? Share below. Huge thanks for joining today. Your love, support, and time mean everything. See you in the next one. Take care, much love.